We have a draft on our hands. Let's go. Game number 1 of our final series of the day. This is going to be a best of 5, just like the immediately preceding series before this one. MCA versus Three-Legged Cat. Melee players are best in slot. What is this? Where are my ranged supporters? Where are my ranged DPS auto-attacking enjoyers in the chat? Speak up, please.
Problem is, I'm like a betrayer to you, though, Mokri, because I'm also a tank player. So
okay.
like,
No, tank players
both
are good.
sides, you know? I'm
No.
the Sith and the Jedi. Like, I represent both sides.
A tank player is more my brother than a melee DPS player, okay? There is a difference. A tank is not just a healthy, beefy melee DPS. No, a tank player enables me. They're there for me. They provide the safety for me to get my auto attacks off. A melee DPS player thinks that they're hot because they can hit a 3-man combo or whatever, and oh, it looks really flashy. But you know who's out here doing that big sustained DPS and delivering the lead? That's your boy. That's your boy on the tracer, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, true. I mean, mobs here is just generally speak about melees, right? It can be everything.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be the broken bruisers that one-shot everything, but it can also be like the tanks that have to get one-shot, sadly, and have to take the bullets.
In reality, this whole conversation is just copium for me not being able to play melee. And just only playing right.
But we share one thing, zipping through with an Overwatch shield. Okay, the bans are getting pretty... talking about that, one team is very focused on banning the front line, or like utility, and other one just bans out mockery heroes, Hanzo and Billy. So yeah. I guess they don't wanna have Panda get any hero he wants. So focus the range is the goal here. And first pick Blaze.
Yeah, exactly.
On the side of Master Splash Academy.
Because the ranged player demands so much attention, see? Because ranged is such an important role. Now we get it. Alright, yes. Vader's gonna pick up that Blaze right there. Marlow, is that how you say it? I've been saying Vader's this whole time.
What?
The Blaze player.
Yeah.
Vader's?
Vetter Z. It's just call him Vetter Z. Always, like when there's a capital letter at the end, I just, I say banana H as well. Like it just.
Yeah, I guess I don't say banana. Banana.
But I met him at Masters Clash last year, but I never really said to him, yo, how do you want to get called? I just did it. Hugged him and said, yo, let's go. It was a pretty cool stuff there, actually. But this year I'm not coming, so can't see him in person.
Yeah, it'd be quite expensive for me to cross the Atlantic to head over.
Oh, yeah, I guess for you even more, yeah. Chromie and Rega being followed. That's quite interesting, because Chromie is one of these heroes where I feel like this hero actually has pressure to build up against Irel. Usually his Irel is pretty unkillable, but Chromie has pretty good forcing buttons on to stop Irel in the one moment where she's engaging with the loop and forcing maybe the bubble, or like armed defender, whatever you want to call the ultimate. And then obviously the offlaner can spang on her from Chromie's team. In this case, Blaze. Sending out Diablo from the side of Three-Legged Cat. Wonder why though.
Diablo banned out right there. Certainly an interesting choice, not wanting to see it for MCA. What will MCA ban in response? It's pronounced Vader, short for Darth Vader's. Hey! Okay, I've been saying Vader's. Alright, so I guess I'll just cut it to Vader. And
yeah, that's why I was asking you again, by the way. I was thinking, what did you mean with Lord Vader? Wait, am I hearing my meme senses right now? Like, legit, thank you, Colton. But I didn't want to say it first only on stream. Now it's supposed to be. Oh, they're not coming through, but like, I legit thought you said Vader or something.
What is this?
It's like, huh?
Marlow? Marlow?
Yeah, that's how people like to call me. Marlow.
Oh, that's pretty good right there.
Because of the meme tick. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, Genji actually. Look at this. Pretty cool.
Yep, Three-Legged Cat right here, coming fresh off their victory versus Inting for Ruby. Picking up that Johanna and that Genji. Certainly going to be an interesting
It explains the Diablo ban now, right? Actually.
Yeah,
because I feel like Johanna and Genji can't really do anything against Diablo. Are very melee, short CC or whatever, short range, and can't really handle killing Diablo at all.
Yep, point and click CC onto Genji, not a damage structure that's able to kill Diablo. It makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, Camembert, who was just in our Twitch chat earlier, is now going to be playing Anubarak as well as Lolam on that Sylvanas. A lot of push pressure coming out. If the side of Masters Clash Academy can manage to secure this objective, going to be interesting to see indeed. I was going to say I question their defensive, but no, their anti-siege is honestly also pretty good too. And a solo support Uther for Captain Rex right here. It's a really interesting dichotomy going from last game where we would see Inting for Ruby just try and play as much double support as possible to now maybe the opposite of double support, solo support Uther on the side of Three-Legged Cat. It's going to be interesting to see the playstyle differences for sure.
Honestly, I could shortly have to intervene when I see what Doug said or Mega Fire said about the Lord Vader when I'm saying it. I feel so good about myself. This is like one of my favorite characters, or like amazing characters. So saying it in a good way, people liking it, pulls out the lava nerds as well. By the way, I just realized there's X-Ray. What? Wait, I just realized there's X-Ray in this group and plays Rhaegar, no?
X-Ray will be playing today for the side of Masters Clash Academy. We'll be playing that Rhaegar here in game number 1. Is this a massive surprise, Marlow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also surprised about what members are missing in Masters Clash Academy. Like, when I said, shortly before you were leaving, or right when you were left actually, I was saying the roster names, right? And I thought, like, yeah, I see Nakomir, I see Siazeka, I see Letter Z. Okay, I think I called Splice, but Splice used to be offlaner before. But it's completely like, I think, either they can't attend, right? Or there was a roster swap, right? Which is always a bit unfortunate, I think. Like with your old set.
X-Ray is an official sub for MCA. They're glad to have him able to step in right here as we now load into our game. Three-Legged Cat on
X-Ray is also in my team right now in Division 1 Plus. I love him. So I think he will do it. Do I announce the Three-Legged Cats again? I think I'm feeling it.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. We have Johan Ayaya playing Johanna. Drakir going for the Lunara. Okay, nice zooming in, thank you. Here I have on Genji, Captain Rex playing Uther, and we have Maitrai on Irel.
Then over on the left side of our screen for the members of Masters Clash Academy, we have Vader on the Blaze. Panda Colada going to be playing Chromie. Meanwhile, a bit of top lane aggression right here, looking to set up some Sylvanas push. Sylvanas, of course, played by Lolam. Camembert going to be on that Anubarak, and X-Ray going to be playing Rhaegar. Ooh, Camembert, also sometimes referred to as Commander Bert right here, is what we have taken a liking to call him, will be the first to fall. A very quick first blood, about the same speed as what we saw in the fastest of the Inting for Ruby versus Three-Legged Cat series. Already a 1-0 kill lead in favor of Three-Legged Cat, who come out swinging.
Yeah, I think they're just sensing it. I think they're sniffing these kills.
Yeah, we are.
Now there's another rotation that no one sees.
Yep, I fully expect to see Genji and Uther just sitting here in this mid area, just constantly ready to rotate whenever they need to.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool to see both at the same line. You know, like usually sometimes can happen that the calling is like only Genji, but that the Uther is assisting a bit, is actually providing like the CC needed to maybe finish off a target on the ganking rotation. And there's gonna be some aggression coming from Hero FN. But disengaging, trying to focus a bit more. Doing it again.
Maitrai is
I think they didn't see Maitrai, by the way.
Yeah, Maitrai is out of vision.
Unlucky group. I think if Chromie was in there with Combat's position, I think that was open for her. I think she went next. That was the case.
Alrighty. And now, is it Cumbert? Because I've seen Camembert, and then I see someone in my chat saying he doesn't like being called.
I call him Cumbert.
I've heard everything under the sun in regard to this guy, as we now see Vader getting invaded by Maitrai, but Maitrai not realizing that they're walking into the hands of multiple members of Masters Clash Academy.
Yeah, this is Uther on the right in time, but also in general, you really can't jump away. But they couldn't really stagger the CC since they only had a blaze stun, right? So it's pretty hard for blocking down Irel. Needed something more spicier route after. Oh, there's an attempt on X-Ray. He's navigating back. Probably survives though. Yeah.
I think if Hirith had actually landed all the shuriken, then I think that could have been a kill onto Rehgar.
You think so?
At most, Rehgar would have like 50 HP. At most, if he had landed all
Did he
that.
miss one entire shuriken?
Yeah,
Or like
he
no,
missed
only
a
one?
whole
Because the
shuriken.
last one had 3, right? The last one was all 3 hit. That's why.
Yeah, he did miss one where I'm pretty sure like all 3 just did not land as they were chasing.
Okay.
And now both teams taking out their bruiser camps, fairly normal sight going into objective number 1. That's why you call her Commander Bert. No one minds being called the
Fucking
Commander.
Fucking Kev!
Alrighty. Commander Bert is retained. We're going to go with that moving forward. Both teams, of course, have their level 4 talents, as you can see at the bottom of the screen.
I think combat is the easiest one. I think this is why he never complained me. It's just like, you know, the cheese. I think this is called Camembert, right? And I think this is a bit longer. That's what he doesn't like. But talking about what he also doesn't like, getting engaged on. Hero F is turning, and they actually kill him.
Oh, Panda Colada getting aggressed on by Hireth, able to survive, though Lolam also going to jump right on out
Iran
of
and
there.
Genji is scary, though. Like, legit, they keep chasing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's gonna hurt even more yet now after level 7, when Irel is, like, also speeding up. What do you think Irel will pick here, actually? Looking at this,
I
the mount?
can't claim to understand URL, especially European URLs. You know, y'all are in your own little world as far as this goes. I leave URL to the players that understand URL, okay? You know, there's a reason you don't see me playing that one on my SL streams right here, as Three-Legged Cat barely winning this first Immortal.
Oh, yeah, 900.
By an absolute sliver. This shield is tiny on this Immortal right here, and it is indeed going to be the Divine Steed picked up by Urel. She wants that instantaneous mount with that move speed through the fights right there. And now Three-Legged Cat setting up with this first Immortal. With such a small shield, gonna be hard to finish off the entire fort right here, as Blaze now rotates from top lane and will slightly beat the Urel on the rotation.
Yeah, but Letazzi not was scouted her at least. So this is not gonna be a lot of damage, but also, I mean, Lunara and Genji can't really push as easily, right? For certain talent spikes. So it is understandable that there won't be big push power.
Ooh.
Next to Chromie and Sylvanas actually doing a lot of defensive push.
X-Ray with the Purge actually denying the hammer from Urel, able to avoid Commander Bert from being tossed into the action right there. And
Commander Bert, he's doing it now.
Yeah, no, it's Commander Bert, because it's CMM. CMM is short for Commander, okay?
Still get me out.
Alrighty. Now Centimeter Bert is stepping up to the bot
Something
lane
is happening
right
top lane, by the
here.
way.
Oh, is it? Alright, yeah, they're
I
taking
mean,
the siege camp.
commanding top lane has been foiled on the cat side. They are doing it. Really done, my lord.
And now some rotations towards this topside camp. Three-Legged Cat able to finish off the siege camp without too much ado. Hireth also lurking here in the bush, taking care not to show, but maybe they did for just a moment right there. Johanna and Chromie facing off in bot lane. Panda Colada just trying to siege in. Johanna trying to get all the wave clear they can. Will get a couple hits off onto Chromie. Nobody gonna fall just quite yet. Brewster Camp's not available to be taken in time before this next objective. They will be spawning just after it. Teams almost definitely just gonna go for race rather than taking the bruisers. We might see some play under them during halftime though. One thing that I find interesting right here, Marlow, is that we see Temporal Loop picked even into the cleanse of Uther. I think they're just counting on, okay, well, if they cleanse Temporal Loop, then they're not going to have cleanse for everything else.
Now, as I said, I think this is the interaction with Irel that is very important. Because I think I would still... I think Chromie is very solid at like forcing the bubble. Irel, her ultimate. And for that sake, I think it's really worth to take the loop, because the slowing sense you won't connect on her, right? And Johanna just insta-presses D. Which is obviously the same thing for like Luke getting countered, but I think their prio is not focusing Johanna with the loop. That's why. And then again, the Ufa cleanse is a little bit longer on cooldown if he's not allowed to attack, so maybe they get a time frame where they have like 20 seconds off. prio over the cleanse. So let's see.
Pick potential certainly a major topic in this game, as Burt is now all 3 deaths for Masters Clash Academy here in the first 7.5 minutes of the game. Lolam tossing the Shadow Wave forward. Vader now forced to use that bunker in the top side of the fight. Here's Burt. Oh, my try is first to fall.
Is falling. And I think Ufa has to save the shield, which she probably doesn't do. Yeah. He spares it. Because I think they are confident that they can reclaim the race still. And yeah, here. Oh! He actually didn't have enough shurikens, so why did he instantly went away? So he did get linked out pretty early, right?
I am not 100% sure. As we now see Johanna trying to step up, Genji will be able to get it. There it is, Hireth able to finish off the Immortal.
Wait, one quick question. Was there a time trap onto her own allies? It looked like there was a time trap onto Sylvanas. So accidentally he pressed it. When he had probably like whole time trap activated on Johanna or something, and then kept his ultimate. And unfortunate.
Always unfortunate. There's another reason I don't play Chromie as well. The time trap, it's stressful to keep track of. Chromie does have access to her level 13 talent, not locking it in just quite yet, however. And the push continues by the members of Three-Legged Cat. Stepping forward here, it looks like they're going to get an easy first fort of the game in their favor. Tempora Loop going out onto my try. Oh, does get cleansed by Captain Rex.
Well, they go on to Veta Z, you need to be careful. Dragon Blade activated, bunkers in, or he's the last dice out of this.
The Divine Shield Dragon Blade combo coming out right here. And that's always going to be something you've got to be afraid of whenever you're against Uther Genji, and we saw Hireth
I
able
like the
to
way
just
where
sit in
they
the
activated suddenly their ultimates, right? They barely missed the Irel after the loop, so loop threat is already out for Genji. And then Blaze missed the stun, and right after they suddenly become like, yo, okay, it's time to strike. Activate your weapons, you know, weaponize up. It's actually really skilled by them. You can see, like, the shot calling is very, very, very...
This is something that chat made fun of me for in CCL back when it was the Streamer League early on. And in CCL, I once made the shot call, everybody press all your buttons. Which I think gets the message across. My try diving in the backline right here. Commander Burt now trying to get on out of here after losing over half his HP. Everybody getting a little bit bloody and bruised in this fight. Cocoon goes out onto Urel.
Very fun fact. Speaking of the comps, right, and being very clear what they are doing for Black Cats. Remember a situation, it was like in the Stormy game or something, where a certain person said like, when Draki typed about like, yeah, okay, about the games and he's hyped, you know, all that stuff. And then there was like the communication about like, yeah, when their voice comms are fine, then they can win, whatever, or not. I think there was one guy doing an ironic statement and said like, no, okay, this won't happen, you know, they won't get clear comms, but see what happens now. Yeah, maybe striking with good dominance, right? And clearance as well, like you can see there. Swift rotation, swift calls. Good to see. Someone was wrong.
Three-legged cat so far does look rather solid, as you're pointing out, Marlow, and they hope to be able to get the upset here against the higher-rated Masters Clash Academy and progress farther along the gauntlet. Now both teams positioned near their Immortal double camp in favor of Three-legged cat. And rather than pressure onto the Immortal, it looks like we're going to see a gank onto Vader, who will get his jet propulsion canceled by Maitre's hammer. Three-legged cat continuing the top lane pressure here. A large wave now going to be pressuring out top. But that attempted gank onto Blaze did buy time for Masters Clash Academy to get their bruiser camp out. Maitre jumping forward here towards the members of MCA.
Genji being a threat again on the sides. Ice block needs to be activated, bunker as well, but I don't think Chromie can live out of this. Yeah. Even sadly the Ancestry see it, it's up now. They got engaged on slightly too early, but even with the Ancestry I think you can't save the Chromie there. She's too low. Keep up. Grace period till the procs. Outswing used on Blaze. But this Genji, he delivers. Gets the strike onto Rega. And for that, I think they are positive. Yeah. 2-2, I guess.
2-2 between these two teams. Lots of damage going out on a top keep as well.
But actually, they are racing. Never mind, they stop. Okay, my Master Slash Academy is here. For the incoming rotation. So they try to play defensive and recover. Waiting for Rega, I think.
Yep, Johanna and Drakir gonna get in some chip damage onto the Immortal of MCA. Notably, level 16 advantage now solidly in favor of Three-Legged Cat. I don't think they did a great job of pressuring their objective with the double camp advantage last time, but it does look like this time fully cognizant of their ability to step forward here and play aggro with this 16, forcing out the halftime between these two Immortals. Panda Colada getting some chip damage onto Johan Ayaya in the bot side of the fight, and now the Immortals are set up still 16 in favor of Three-Legged Cat. Looks like this is just going to be an even race between these two teams right here. Man, MCA...
I like what Johanna's doing, even though this can be always risky, right? Trying to stall here, but then again, she has a very good cover from her team. There's Irel that can flank, D-shield most of all, right? Even if the pool is rocking. And I think it's very good to risk it and try to get as much shield value as possible by blinding the enemy team. I like that move a lot from Johan. Showing a little bit of balls, you know? Really.
Just want to play for that interference right there and make sure to try and limit the race of their competitors, especially because Johanna is not the fastest race on the offensive side of things. So usually going to play defensively on those Immortals. And now the members of MCA on equal talent tiers with the members of Three-Legged Cat, equal footing in that regard. Punisher stepping forward here has lost its shield in its entirety. Gonna start meleeing this keep. Oh, that's a blessed shield onto Sylvanas. Jumping over the wall. The damage threat is massive. Cocoon coming out onto Lunara as well. Urel taking a lot of shots in the meantime. Did lose the Ardent Defender and will fall 2-for-1 in favor of MCA. MCA now trying to save this keep from dying to the Immortal, and they're able to hold on to it.
Wait,
wow.
That's close. Well, obviously, fighting under the keep is always a bit problematic. Surprisingly, Johanna fell first. Of course, the tank things, right? But that she died so early was very surprising.
And then we did see right there Hireth actually able to go ahead and finish off that bottom keep. So this is a Three-Legged Cat keep advantage in the meantime. The members of Masters Clash Academy with this bottom siege camp able to pressure out on the bottom fort. They simply just need to start taking some structures out. They need to open up a realistic path towards ending this game. And part of that is getting push value whenever they can get it right there. Able to take out that fort. So now that opens up the potential play of even if they secure next objective and the Immortal goes top, they could just pressure right onto this bottom keep as well if they feel so inclined. Now Masters Clash Academy clearing out the top siege camp. Everybody just looking to set up, get some vision control, and get ready for next objective.
I actually would think it would be maybe wise for them to fight before the Immortal phase for Masters Clash Academy. Because looking at it, when you wait too long, there might be the 19 to 20 spike coming in. So I think even trying to pre-tap and getting a trap here. Ah, that's maybe too far. I'm scared of that. Okay, good cleanse though. Their shield is out for that. Ah, there's an overlap. Unfortunate overlap.
The Cocoon and Temporal Loop both going to be used on the same target. Now Panda Colada. Oh, Panda Colada getting finished off by Hireth, who does have the Blessed Shield, setting up the Dragon Blade now, slashing through Sylvanas and Anubarak. Hireth forced to jump on out of there once the Dragon Blade has run out. It is 1-0 in favor of Three-Legged Cat, but Three-Legged Cat missing a lot of HP, forced to back off.
Fortunately, also the Ancestral connected onto Sylvanas instead of Anu. I think there was a lot of, panicking all of a sudden. Instead.
Now,
Three-Legged Cat is recovering and trying to make formation to race. Focusing plays, they know he's isolated. They are going all in on him. Rail trying to zone away Marlow. Their shield is up again. This is how long the fight took. 60 seconds are over and instantly making use of the cooldown coming back.
And a good job by Three-Legged Cat to force that 5v4 there. Meanwhile, MCA taking this Bruiser camp, but Three-Legged Cat might have something to say about that. They're not going to play it for the invade, instead just prioritizing finishing off this Immortal as fast as possible. Level 20 advantage now on the table for Three-Legged Cat, who are looking solid here in this game versus the higher rated Masters Clash Academy right here. Again, Three-Legged Cat would love to make it through the Gauntlet if at all possible. And now they gotta be thinking about ending the game here with this level 20 advantage. No top gate, just getting that Shingon siege damage from the Genji. Any little bit of extra damage will help them finish off the core, and they also have a very healthy Immortal. At this point, MCA needs to find some picks, and there's a Blessed Shield over the wall.
There's only Blessed Shield onto Chromie.
And that now with
good silence, very good silence. Bolom had done significant job there. I think he silenced Rex, and Genji couldn't get healed or de-shielded anymore. De-shield is still up, as you can see.
Bert getting the rewind as they go in onto Johanna. Oil coming out onto Captain Rex. Meanwhile, that Immortal is heading to the core as Masters Clash Academy chases down the members of Three-Legged Cat. They will need to defend against it sooner or later. Chromie is sticking behind to clear out the base. Johan Ayaya now rushing towards the blue side core as well. Drakir getting chased down by MCA, just trying to buy time for this Immortal, which is still continuing to push. Johan Ayaya will actually hard
like maybe half-time? Half? Okay, 57 or something. No, actually half, wow. Less, more than half of the core. I think that's worth for them.
Yep, MCA, these dead timers.
They can't end, I think.
Uther not going to be up for 31 seconds now for Three-Legged Cat. At minimum, Masters Clash Academy thinking about taking out this keep, maybe not the entire game.
I think maybe they can end, because now they can force the fluke onto Ira.
We will see. They are certainly going to go for it, though. Now all 20s locked in this game. Bert trying to go in on Johanna. Johanna does have Iron Skin, able to avoid some of that CC right there. Temporal Loop going out onto Johan Ayaya as well, who is simply trying to survive the pressure. Not a lot of damage going out of court just quite yet, but the shield finally cracking.
Nice, sustaining, nice. Yo, I think Johan is only guessing nothing that. Sustaining through that shield to buy time. And now Hira F is up. Cleaning rest, I think. Playing a bit front to back.
Where did it all go wrong as Masters Clash Academy?
Okay, now I think Chromie is too deep, yes. And finishing off of Rega probably? No, that's Anu. And I think this is GG. Genji is already heading to the core. X-Ray knows that the defeat has come. Maybe trying to bite the core. But
there's nothing he can do on his own.
Maybe this does 5k damage though, each bite, and then there's a chance, but sadly the coding is not like this, right? You're not one-shotting.
After a bit of a tumultuous ending right there, Three-Legged Cat able to finish off MCA in in game one. Of course, this
It was actually very scary though. Like, I like the attempt that they tried because they have actually bunker and nano beetles, right? They have a lot of like sustain on the core. But I think there was too much of a rush because still their mana sources wasn't like the most fixed. Like Anuk was already pretty own, and so was Sylvanas, I think. So they couldn't like spend too much. They had to be very accurate. And the way Johan lived there, right? On his own actually, because he got cocooned if I'm not mistaken. He was completely on the other side. But he was just respawning, rather. And yeah, I think he sustained himself and brought enough time, so Genji actually can go in. I played on that one, that defense.
A solid way to hang on in that game right there. So much back and forth action between these two teams. And it looked like, I was questioning the core call, but I thought they would be able to maybe pull it off, but no, MCA only getting the core of Three-Legged Cat down to 86% before just getting run out of town after Johan Ayaya able to stall long enough for everybody on their team to come back up, so Genji could come back out and bring out that Divine Shielded Dragon Blade here, and we already have our Game 2 lobby up. Let's go ahead and join it. And game 2 will be on Towers of Doom. Here we go.
Maybe there's a secret threat from MCA coming in. Combat also whispered us something about, but who knows if it's coming or not. Or it's just pure delusion.
He whispered you something?
He's first spelling. No, I mean, it was in the chat before he joined in the games.
I see.
It said something about a certain pick or whatever. And then, according to the Masters, the Caster's Curse, he has to, keep it secret somewhat. He has to hide. So else it's actually gonna happen or not happen, whatever. I don't know, there was something.
I'm gonna call him Commander Bert until the day that I die. Alright.
Smooch. The same as also Vedazir is for you, Lord Vader, so, I mean,
Yeah,
you have to live with that, man. The butchering begins.
How do you lose with a team that has a Lord Vader and a Commander on the same side?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And you lose to a captain? You're telling me that Lord Vader and Commander Bert lose to Captain Rex?
I don't know,
The ranks need a little bit of shuffling right here.
He has to spice it up. Maybe he has, bribed his win. Maybe it's all fake. It was not well earned. You got bounty hunters if you need something.
Who knows? Now, Lucio, of course, banned out by Masters Clash Academy.
Also, the jungle is pretty interesting because it's also something I think MCA likes to play a lot. So, there are, I think, very specific bans in this series, not like general bans,
Definitely. When you've had this long of a regular season and when you've known these players for years, certainly hero pool preferences going to get banned out as always. And of course, Johanna Ayaya, after playing Garrosh in the first 3 games of the day, we know Masters Clash Academy saw those performances. They do not want to let Johanna Ayaya have that Garrosh again. Going to not let it through. Vader now picking up Dahaka for the first pick of the draft. There's a pulsing... It sounds like you've got the Allspark over there or something right there. And now, with that Dahaka first pick, guaranteeing that Masters Clash Academy can at least look at the invades on the enemy sapper side, forcing very strong, fast rotations to try and deal with it. My try, of course, if we're talking about an offlaner that's able to rotate quickly and really burn through those waves, Blaze is going to be one of those great options. Captain Rex going to be reprising their role as the Rhaegar here as well. You love to see it. Going to set up for some strong overall picks. No individual spice just quite yet between these two teams.
That's always the problem if you have like a very early pick, right? You already know that you can kind of force your offlaner early after he's been picked. And then you can play around. Yeah, they probably won't do like too much melees because Dahaka doesn't really have a lot of damage from himself. And he's looking for the early game invade. So you can just say, yeah, I'm going for the beefier boy, or like the one that builds the matchup instead of the one that has maybe more teamfight power like Hogger. Yeah. Thus, I think it's very good for them to secure already the counter offlaner. That's what. I think the Dahaka is actually something that maybe should second rotation. First 2 rotation like the side 3 like Cat has, but not complete first pick, you know what I mean? Very first one.
I get what you're saying, yeah, just as long as you pick him up before the 3rd ban. But now Genji going to be banned out by 3-legged Cat after having successfully utilized it in game 1. And honestly, Marlow, I look at this draft for MCA and I just think to myself, if they had picked up Genji alongside the Li Ming, I just think the macro wouldn't be there. Even if they pick Johanna, even if they pick a wave clear tank, I think that if their damage had been Li Ming Genji, they simply would get out-rotated the entire game and out-pushed.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda true. I mean, I think this is an overreaction ban, and even if the Genji is been there, like, they still have enough tools to react to it. Like, there's a Diablo that is very free play right now. Yeah, and there it is. Like, I feel like this Genji ban is kinda useless, actually. I completely agree. Like, they get out macros. The hacker can't provide all that macro power. Mm-hmm. Especially when he's slow on, like, rotating between lanes. Maybe he can be swiftly on the other side of the map, but that's about it, right? It's bound to a high cooldown.
We do see Diablo Falstead picked up by Three-Legged Cat, and the final 2 members of Master Clash
maybe
Academy's
the
draft.
Falstad, you know? Maybe it's about the Falstad.
Maybe it's about the Falstead. Yeah, they don't want him to get deleted by the Genji pressure.
But then again, Zeratul is also a fee. Like, it's the same, I would say. And then even Zeratul is maybe better because he can handle mid easier.
Yeah.
And so at least.
Zeratul can actually wave clear a little bit.
I
but...
mean, if you bet, I think you rather ban the Zeratul. It's actually a spicy discussion about the last ban, for sure. And Lunara getting picked. Trying to abuse the poke strat with Falstad Q and Lunara.
Yeah, just certainly able to stall those objectives with that long-range poke of Falstad and Lunara. Tychus, as the classic response to Diablo, always going to see that picked up. Of course, into Diablo or Hugger, it's a mainstay of the meta right now. And Marlow, do you have a team that you would call one way or the other right here?
I would really definitely favor Three-Leg Cat's draft here. Like, they can create a lot of space, even late game against the Tychus Odin. They have a lot of tools to just run away. It's not like Diablo. The thing is about the 20 Odin, right? That Diablo becomes tankier all of a sudden into it. Because there's not a drill. Like, it's only the mid game that threatens him. And then you have like a Falstad that can easily disengage, and even Blaze and Rega have like the attack speed. So I don't think like Tychus, with his short range especially, has a like very free game. Like I really like the units that they build up to prevent that Diablo is just so exposed. And for that sake, I heavily favor the Three-Leg Cat draft. And they also have a respawn on top. Diablo, maybe sometimes there's Form and Blaze, and Falstad is like handling Soak against the Haka mid game. Like, they have so much flexibility. I think they can take this map here, even late game.
I'm generally a bit skeptical of most Li Ming players off of Battlefield of Eternity, but of course these are Masters Clash players. These players have been around the block. Maybe it's just me being skeptical of my Storm League Li Ming players, but I can have a little bit of trust in them right here. But let's look at these players here. Three-Legged Cat, we have Johan Ayaya going to be playing Diablo, Hireth on the Falstad, Captain Rex playing Rehgar, Maitri on the Blaze, and Drakir going to be playing that Lunara. Who do we have for Masters Clash Academy here, Marlow?
On the blue team, we have Vetazi playing the Haka, Panda Colada on the Tychus, X-Ray playing Stukov, and Lolom playing Li Ming, and last but not least, Cambert on the Commander, on the Cow, on EDC.
The Cowmander, if you will.
I used that one. That was my opportunity to give you a small slap. A friendly slap and reminder.
Yep.
Don't call him like that! Me.
Cowmander Burt gonna help clear out the bot lane right here. Heading back on up towards mid lane. Three-Legged Cat a little bit behind on the rotation, and we might see a gank starting to formulate onto Hireth. Not able to find anything, though. Will be able to just back on out right here. Sappers now spawning for both teams. Both teams certainly going to have these on their radar.
But also the problem is, like, I feel like Falstad is legit free to fly around, right? Like, he's free as the fly itself. I feel like he has a lot of dynamic here, and he can influence the game easily. Because he doesn't really has too much that he gets contested at, right? And they can't really catch him. As you saw, there was a Foreman rotation. Right, one another, close another, and Falstad was easily flexing away. So, gonna be hard, I think.
Well,
he has a lot of potential.
Speaking of assassins able to dip right on out of gank attempts, we did see Li Ming able to teleport away from the attempted Diablo Blaze combo right there. And now Masters Clash Academy with the temporary 4-on-3 able to clear out the sappers of Three-Legged Cat. And hold on a second, there's a power slide onto Johan Ayaya. Pops the soul shield, gonna be okay for right now. Both teams trading a lot of cooldowns, but nobody gonna go down just quite yet. This last sapper will make it in and land onto the wall of Three-Legged Cat. Masters Clash Academy just slightly winning that early sapper war, forcing out a hearth from Johan Ayaya as well, and also camping these rotations.
Very nice try, but as I said, the Falstad being slightly untouchable, right? Even with the movement speed on top of it. Like, he slips away from the fingers of the very melee-orientated combo team from our Master Clash Academy. Like, they have a very one-shot melee-orientated draft, but I feel like there's a lot of mosquito happening. on the red team side. That's why it's gonna be rough, in my opinion.
Ereth now helping out clear out this top sapper camp for the members of Three-Legged Cat. Meanwhile, MCA not able to pressure with their number advantage towards the bottom half of the map. Now both teams going to start playing for the altars. Notably, Hereth up here with the global will be able to play for this top altar, and then Z down towards bot side. Well, hold on a second. Drakir finding himself in the middle of multiple members of MCA, and also at the same time, Li Ming going to get popped as well. Vader's hitting a very long-range tongue, not able to pull Maitri all the way into the death zone. And at the moment, it's looking like this will be core health advantage in favor of Three-Legged Cat, but MCA able to get a little bit of push pressure on bot lane in the meantime.
Yeah, I like the counter reaction to just say, okay, we don't arrive there right in time, just try to get value where we just stand and got an advantage out of us. It was very interesting that they actually got the kill fairly easily onto Lunara. Because, yeah, she should be fast enough to escape the melee power, right? But she got caught. Oh, this was a burrow. Kinda, I think, overreacting. Or like, at least too late, right? But I think that was overreacting because the kill already has happened.
Yep, already secured the kill, and the members of Three-Legged Cat were under their towers. A bit of an ambitious brush stalker right there from Vader.
Yes, I think that gives some prior to Blaze now, I would even consider. Because he had to extra take the mid-wave now, the DHK. Ah, this is a good stall though. I think that was a really good lick. Maybe equalizing the time now. Yes, they have to be scared with a possible invade from Three-Legged Cat, because Blaze is mid. I think Johan is already calling. Could we invade? There's a stun onto ETC, but nice, dropping very low and split up from the team, but I think they get Diablo in the meantime, yeah. X-Ray kept silencing him. And yeah, they get actually the counter kill. But I would also say, I think Blaze should have been there, to be honest.
Yep.
This is what maybe even initiated that aggression from Diablo to begin with, because they can create numbers advantage. Didn't happen though.
Yep, a lot of times just having your offlaner synced up with what the team wants to do, such an important part about going for those invades right there. You want to make sure you've got those number advantages whenever you can play for them, or at least number equality between the two teams. Want to make a 5-on-5, not a 4-on-5 whenever possible. I do believe that was 4-on-4 at the time. Now, Panda Colada going for the capture of the altar. Johanna Yaya with the Fire Stomp able to get the invade. We do see Dahaka soaking up that top lane, trying to inch Masters Clash Academy closer to securing level 10, but here is actually able to complete the cap.
Yeah. I mean, last second, right? But didn't manage. Very good zoning from Diablo to ETC. Getting him in. As he can't connect on the file side, he got slowed right before that. Very good by Lunara controlling the DHK flanks, right? The vision and even the poison into the slow. It's very annoying to play against that, like for a DHK player. Because Shayna, for instance, doesn't have any mobility and can slow, but Lunara has it way before. Can even strike.
Now Johanna
what's gonna happen?
He is lurking between these two lanes right here. Both teams just kind of not wanting to step up too hard into the other. Nobody wanting to face check anything right here. Johanna Yaya lurking just out of vision in mid lane, not wanting to tip off the members of MCA about their lack of presence down here. Now rotating over towards Camembert, not able to find anything just quite yet. Sappers now respawning for the members of Three-Legged Cat, and with no Sapper camp over here, I would think MCA would at least consider the invade, especially with Blaze all the way topside. I feel like Dahaka could just rip the dig right now.
Yeah, and I think now they're getting scared, or like, okay, MCA gets confident, right, but Blackcats gets scared. Oh, never mind, there's an engage. Blaze is still not there, then again, Fights and Blaze play together. Good gust. Good gust means the Captain Rex is completely free to do whatever. That was scary damage, but the flank from both members of Maitri and Hiraf together, securing the Vega survives there. Very well done, I think.
So Marlow, do you agree though that as soon as you see Blaze capture that top Sappers, you just immediately call for the global and 5v4?
Yes.
I feel like that's the way to go, and that's how you abuse that advantage, but not able to see that from MCA. Now Johanna,
but then again, also Diablo wasn't too deep, right? He was not even at the left bush, neither too much into the camp. It's already going a bit away. Okay, might try dropping pretty low. Falstad on the other hand, making the same to the other offlaner. It's like, hey, you're dropping my boy low, I can do the same. Get hammer in your face. Odin has been blocked.
X-ray.
Aggression. Oh, nice stall by Johan. Did you see that? Nice W hit, actually.
Yep, fire stomp from Johan.
Beta Z as in kind of, trampoline or something. Jump pad. So I can get the stall in. It's pretty nice mechanic play.
Certainly good back and forth right here. Dahaka hearthing all the way back to base does have the potential to global back in if it is available. Johan Ayaya taking huge
instantly
damage.
when that silence hits, right? Diablo's so scary to just die all of a sudden. But the cleanse enabled him to press Space Shield right after.
Yeah, Spell Shield used, unfortunately, after Johan Ayaya took all that damage. Blaze now still just camping out in that top side. And despite that altar maybe not going exactly how Three-Legged Cat would have wanted it, they do have level 13 advantage here. Dahaka landing a tongue onto Blaze in the top side rotation.
Yeah, and it starts going the phase that Diablo is more self-protective, right? He gets the spell power, doing more damage and later on the damage reduction, doing also more from self. So the more the game progresses, the harder it actually gets to kill the Lord of Terror, if you like.
Level 13's now achieved for Masters Clash Academy, equalizing between these two teams. Johan, able to get the long-range flip onto Lolam, setting up the kill through the Leeming teleport. That always feels so bad when you do that as Tracer and he flips you from like 2 blinks away. It's the worst feeling in the world.
I know what you mean. Fabian trade is like, yeah, okay, fine. You make good use of it, but then the flip is like, oh no, come on. Open. You open after this one.
Yeah.
You probably don't have the time to make it pop.
GG open mid, Diablo flips me. There's...
Okay, the slides barely missed. Very unfortunate. If it connected, I think that's for sure kill. Even outside the cleanse.
Yep,
I'm not sure actually. It's hard to tell because the cleanse instantly gives Falstad the moment to jump out, right? Out of the silence.
Not 100% sure.
They are looking.
But, not able to stop the Sapper Camp from being taken by Three-Legged Cat. Masters Clash Academy is here on the scene, able to kill none of the Sappers, actually. I thought they had caught one, but it was just a little bit ahead of the others. And now both teams going to set up and filter in toward these top 2 objectives. MyTry able to cap it without any issue, and so is Vader's. Each team simply going to trade the objective in this moment and continue a bit of a stalemate. Here's Panic a lot of bot side, though.
They might actually get... Oh, okay, Spell Shield. Spell Shield difference. Right there. Else could have been a dead one. Not sure.
Neo Steel
Playing
Coding.
together right now is 5. Yeah, Neo Steel Coding.
Neo Steel Coding, just absolutely an insane 13 talent. Johan Ayaya going in on Commander. Bert, though, will get Power Slit himself. Soul Shield gonna buy himself a lot of HP. That's a big jet propulsion from MyTry. Setting up the Apocalypse.
I think X-Ray can't move, yeah. X-Ray can't move out of it.
Bert gonna go down, will be the second to fall in that double kill, following up off the Apocalypse, which was all orchestrated by MyTry and Johan Ayaya. It's gonna be a triple kill in totality, and now all of a sudden really pulling ahead. Three-Legged Cat looking solid here, hoping to take the 2-0, but there's still a lot of game left to be played here, but they gotta be feeling good after that last fight. 16 advantage now solidly secured and a nearly 2-level lead. Going to be a 2-level lead once this fort gets taken right there for the members of Three-Legged Cat.
The precision which Blaze is playing with, even into the knockbacks from both Liming, possible silence from Sukov or Shoff, and the ETC knockbacks regularly. Gotta say, it's very nice that like he still keeps having massive stuns and actually opens up engages for Diablo. And yeah, like very impressive, but also overall like what MyTry is doing throughout the series, right? Like he's one that used to play a lot of ranged assassins and is actually very excelling at like getting a generating prior on off lanes and having good team play communication with like setting up things. Very admirable, I think. Super pointed out over here.
Captain Rex actually self-canceling the altar channel a few times.
Wait, wonder why? Wait, why did he do it?
I was trying to figure out the same myself. There were no altars changing hands.
Maybe because of top? Maybe this
maybe
top one?
It's a bit of a risky call if you ask me. I feel like you just cap that rather than gambling on getting one extra shot from finishing off the top four.
Yeah.
As, stun combo
There's
coming out on the
EDC. The slide, top side. Wait, okay. Unfortunately, there was someone to PS right in time. Mosh would have connected, but he was way too low. Under Colada, I think it's killed by Lunara here.
Oh, X-Ray gonna save him just in the nick of time, able to prevent the teammate from going down. Falstad now capping that altar in the back, and they did get the shot from top though, so the gamble to delay the top right capture by the side of Three-Legged Cat does pay off. And now able to get one more.
Playing with fire over here, I would say.
Playing with fire, but sometimes it works. And now, transitioning over to boss, Three-Legged Cat. And with this
boss... That means 28 against 3. That's very scary, to be honest. That even means when they would now get flipped over, right? Three-Legged Cat loses bottom prior and also top, and have 5-3 against them, then they can still win with one altar. That's like a very big difference now, I think.
Even if these top sappers manage to make it in, that would be game in favor of Three-Legged Cat.
Like literally everything is lethal now. That's the point we come across, right?
And here, I wonder if we're going to see Gust used to try and set up these sappers to try and prevent the members of Masters Clash Academy from clearing them out. This is where you really like to have a Garrosh to toss these sappers into the death zone. There's going to be an Apocalypse combo onto Li Ming. Oh, there's the Gust. One sapper made it in. Dropping the core of MCA down to 2. Captain Rex Self-Ancestrals is isolated, can't see anything right now. And the other sappers not going to be able to make it in. Only 1 out of 3, but still only 2 core HP remaining for Masters Clash Academy after what is still a successful push top lane by Three-Legged Cat. Three-Legged Cat, level 20, just around the corner.
Just around the corner. This looks very, very rough, especially because they can gain so much control bot side now. I think they maybe even concede with Altar and completely lock down the bottom one and focus everything on that. Before that, they even try to get this bell tower gone, so it's all about the time, ticking time clock now or something.
Level 20s have been achieved by the members of Three-Legged Cat.
There's a blink attempt, and they get Sukov. Wow. The aggression from Johan is very admirable. And even Rex survives once again, like on top. Golom tries to flank from the side, maybe gets him, no. Missed the orb, barely. And that probably means GG, game number 2.
That is almost definitely GG in favor of Three-Legged Cat. Hireth trying to finish them off.
And they get some KDAs at the end? No, they don't get the KDAs.
At this point, of course, it's only
I told you we
jinxed.
I told you we jinxed, but okay, 20 happened, but only on one side. I told you we jinxed.
Okay.
It wasn't a stomp at least, but you know, it was not like 20 Omega scaling and a lot of fights in late game. It was only one fight now. I feel bad. I feel bad. I think we should get to the first series today where we were half muted. It was probably the best call. No offense to the audio, of course.
Oh, no. Alrighty, let's take a look at that post-game scoreboard right here. Able to take a look at what was just going on in that game, and what honestly just felt like a clean outplay from the members of Three-Legged Cat from the start of the game right there. Just a little bit of lacking the ability to get it together from Masters Clash Academy, who are bruised so far, but not quite out for the series just quite yet. Remember, this is a best of 5. So Three-Legged Cat up 2-0. They just simply need to win 1 game left in the series. MCA would need to win 3 straight at this point to stay alive and advance in the Gauntlet. Three-Legged Cat, though, I gotta say, for being the number 7 rated team, to win 5 straight games now so far, they've got to be feeling confident about themselves moving forward here in the Gauntlet, finishing out this series today and hopefully going in tomorrow.
I have pretty big confidence for them, really. I feel like team that was very underrated and now is pulling in the plug and choose otherwise. I like to see these changes a lot. And to me as well, but yeah, looking at them, it's very enjoyable to see these games. Even if there was like 1-2 throws by them, right? It's still like the execution, we gain momentum, we keep the momentum is also something very skillful, right? Oftentimes there can be happening some throws and then you be a bit overconfident and you do too much sloppy mistakes, all of a sudden you end up behind and then it's like, yeah, well earned that you lost. That kind of way. But I think really where we said like the gambling is too much and then they kept on and they still didn't lose the gambling part and made 2 times 6 shots onto their core. This is something which is about high coordination and high communication, right? Like you have to know, okay, I'm taking the top bell tower now. Slowly, we are still pushing toward one. The tank has to make sure that he doesn't run it into the enemy one shot. And the healer's like, yo, maybe I still go back to my team and don't fully cap, greed for that and that. Like there's a lot of like interplay between the different voice actors in the comms, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. The comms have to be perfect, especially when your team is very split. It is so easy to mess up if you're fighting, if you're simultaneously thinking about top altar and top left, or top bell tower and top left altar and top right altar all at the same time. Everybody really has to understand what the other players in their game are doing, as we still wait on news about next lobby, potentially the final lobby of the day, depending on what exactly happens here in these games. I'm looking, trying to see. We do see Vader's picking up first pick now.
God, fuck my life, Vader. It keeps hitting me so hard. Fuck me.
His name is Vader. I don't know what to tell you, alright?
If you would see my face right now, I keep laughing every time it happens. I can't stop it. I just can't stop it.
Anyways, the unnamed Dahaka player on Masters Clash choosing to take first pick after losing game number 2, which does mean that we will be taking it to Three-Legged Cat's map of choice, Tomb of the Spider Queen. We still need to play out this game 3 right here between MCA and Three-Legged Cat on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Okay, first pick goes to them again. Now the question is, are they so scared? The thing is, on this map, surprisingly, even though it doesn't feel like very appealing to pick the hacker on this map because of like the short version of the map itself, right? It's not that far away and broad. But I feel like here creating a lot of like global pressure suddenly, and especially when you get some structures already, and soaking that far in is, you know, very good advantage. But maybe Masters Clash Academy is now scared to pull it because they lost before. It can always be a thing that you don't confidently say, I'm picking it again. But I hope there's like a consideration for that hero still. But let's see if they this time can maybe get a Hanzo because they have a lot of pry on it. Or if Three-Legged Cat says once again, ah, you are not coming with that one. Let's see.
Hanzo always, I feel, going to be at least a thought on Tomb of the Spider Queen. They're able to give you such wave clear in the late game, especially with those piercing arrows. Might be a little bit awkward early though. Also a lot of good scatter angles, but of course Junkrat continually banned out right here. Generally an extremely strong character overall, but especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a map so heavily focused on wave clear. Of course, Johan Ayaya's Garrosh not going to be allowed yet again. They saw it early on in that first series versus Inting for Rupee. Not going to allow it to get through either. Masters Clash Academy now going to show us their first pick in just a moment.
Could be Hanzo now, right? Because it's actually open. Or maybe they are scared of the blaze factor. But I actually feel like the blaze is now a bait. I think it's a bait. But then again, Mitra excelled so hard on it, so... It's like between deny picking and seeing it's very good, but also knowing what maybe is against it, right? Like the lyric is a very special thing here, very popular. So maybe Blaze is not that strong.
Well, we did see Maitri setting up some huge combos, particularly that massive jet propulsion, setting up the Apocalypse on the bot side rotation last game. Drakir gonna pick up the Hanzo, like you said, Marlow.
Yeah. Hanzo is gone now.
And Captain
I
Rex,
think maybe it was actually the Hanzo pick.
Captain Rex kind of one-tricking Regar tonight after so many healer bans, especially so many Lucio bans. It's kind of like me, you know, I get my Tracer banned out, so I just end up playing Hanzo every game. Kind of a similar deal right here. as well for Captain Rex, but hey, it's been working for him.
I think they just like the swift and reactive cleanse to prevent full burst, right? Instead of a more like fragile one that could be AoE, but maybe you don't want AoE, and now you don't really regret it, because imagine if they would have picked 5 now, maybe the fragile cleanse version into a Chromie, right? So I think they can be happy with their support pick result.
One thing that I did see last week with Cavalier Guest that I want to point out, you mentioned Temporal Loop. Rehgar specifically, it was a Tomb of the Spider Queen game, Rehgar versus Chromie, and the Rehgar actually missed cleanse on Temporal Loop, I want to say twice in the same game. Because of course, Rehgar has the shortest range cleanse in the game, and also the shortest duration cleanse in the game, only lasting a half second of unstoppable rather than many supports full unstoppable. So your timing does have to be on point to block those temporal loops right there. Wouldn't surprise me to see Panda Colada still go for that loop, just like we saw earlier into the Uther cleanse support in the first series.
It's true, especially with Blaze, right? Especially with Blaze when he keeps oiling maybe Rehgar to create some distance. Actually, that's something I forgot about. Yeah, the cleanse duration is very limited. Yeah. And also it's a bit higher how cooldown as well still, right? The 60 seconds these days.
Indeed, after getting nerfed, it was 30 seconds on PTR, and then nerfed to 45 for live, and then nerfed 60. Again to 60. Yeah. As Stitches Leoric, I will say, Marlow, this is just my personal opinion, and I don't think that it is 100% gospel in every game, but I generally am of the opinion that going a frontline that has no hard CC makes the game kind of hard to play. Such as what you have right here with Stitches and Leoric. I just think that stuns generally just make the game easier, right? Stunning and rooting the enemy team. And so I feel like this could totally work, but you've got a very weak to dive backline, so Tyrael and Greymane could go in aggro when they need to, and you lack hard CC. I want to see Three-Legged Cat complete it, but what do you think, Marlow?
Sure. I mean, I was actually thinking, probably you had it in your mind as well, that there's a Tracer angle. I don't know if it's like confidence thingy from Master Splash Academy, which it didn't happen. But like, if this was a Tracer angle right now, I think they had like no chance at all, because the late game is like Tracer dominate, since there's no pressure on her whatsoever. With Greymane, however, maybe they can click on that hero, punish him in one swift moment with a Silence and Tomb. But they also have a lot of reaction with the Tyrael Saint and the Blaze Bunker. And then, as you said, there's no target stun. I think their biggest CC is actually one Rehgar, big slow totem on 16, which makes it very hard to find something. Even the Hunter arrows won't be that easy to hit. They cut with Valve, global cleansing, and especially the denying factor from the front line. They can even eat it, actually. And
absolutely. And
so, yeah, this time I think both of us think about Master Splash Academy, right?
I just looking. So you were talking about Master Splash potentially having picked up a Tracer over the Greymane, right?
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned the late game, and I think the early game macro would really be the question in that scenario. Could they have gotten through the early game with relatively weak macro of Chromie Tracer as their DPS picks? And I think that if they could, their PvP would just stomp in the late game. They would just win every team fight. But, of course, that's all hypothetical. That's not what was actually picked. We do see a Greymane instead, as we now go into Game 3 of MCA versus 3LC. We'll see right here, for the side of Masters Clash Academy, we have Bert. Just Bert. What comes before
that's
that?
Also fine. Yeah,
what comes before that is up to you. Lola, I'm going to be on the Greymane. The Blaze player on Blaze, and X-Ray flashing that taunt, and Panda Colada. I don't want to get flamed. Panda Colada gonna be on that Chromie. Who's on Three-Legged Cat?
Guys, you see, I'm just protecting my EU people here, holding on together. Keep tight. So, and in Three-Legged Cat side, we have Captain Rex being almost hard stuck at the tower for some reason on Rehgar. Didn't navigate properly. Then Hera F scouting already on the Hanzo. Johan trying to fish soon with a hook on Stitches. Akia on the Sylvanas, and Mai Try about to mace and bonk them with the Lyric.
Leoric, always one of my favorite offlaners in the game. Offlane just a really fun role in general right here. And one thing that I gotta say...
It's the guy that doesn't play melees.
I don't play melees, yeah. Like...
What is your defense now? Offlane Sagara or what?
I play Blaze offlane, and he's technically ranged, okay? Blaze is technically considered a ranged
because
character.
of a crossfire. Okay.
I mean...
And his own takes. God, what a meme.
But generally, so Blaze, or Bert able to see, you're corrupting me. Bert able to jump on out of there by getting to his sword. And now Vaders and My Tribe both looking at each other. They know each other player wants these siege camp right here. They're both just having a little bit of a standoff. But I gotta say, one thing that consistently you'll notice with Hanzo teams on Tomb of the Spider Queen is Hanzo just doesn't have wave clear for the first 3 levels of the game. So sometimes that gets abused by teams who are able to push their macro advantages early, as both teams now getting close to finishing off their bruiser camps right here. Nobody looking at a siege camp just quite yet. And now...
Even Sylvanas is also not the fastest before level 4. Like both of them start installing a little bit later. The wave clear potential. And actually, just like looking at the Greymin again, like actually you're right. Like with Tracer, this would have been very risky. Even like the offline matchup is also not favored. They should lose in theory to Lyric, but they might get the macro. Like not having good macro anymore all of a sudden. But now they have it, right? They can actually push a little bit. Let's see.
Level 4s now being achieved. The good macro that we're pointing out for Masters Clash Academy here, as they have a quite healthy bruiser camp pushing down this mid lane. Chromie's Dragon's Breath, of course, able to get big siege damage across the enemy front gate. And now the bruiser spell armor still active, helping out Lolam here as the members of Three-Legged Cat try to get some damage onto him. And here's some more Resident Sleeper offlane gameplay for you, just in case y'all really wanted to see that. As we now move over to topside, Three-Legged Cat getting the damage on a Commander Burt. Johan Ayaya tried to predict with that hook, tried to predict that Tyrael would jump to the sword, but Burt waiting it out, going to be able to avoid it. Meanwhile, though, with Three-Legged Cat aggressing onto topside, that does mean that Masters Clash Academy knows they have number advantages on the opposite side of the map and are able to pressure onto that siege camp and cap it out.
Yeah, actually, not very okay, if Sylvanas rotated down to hell, right now we're actually not very sure who has like the true prior on the map. It looks very even still. Everyone has to do his job at soaking clearing, but there's no like real priority that's been gained. Now there's an aggression onto Hanzo, but he's completely fine, I think. No one shouldn't one-shot him yet. And actually Combat is taking a lot more damage, so the trade is rather negatively.
Sylvanas did spend a decent amount of time in bot lane, but is now heading up to join the fight after the hook onto Burt. Johan Ayaya not able to finish off the kill, however. And I gotta say, the hook follow-up this game is not super stellar.
Yeah. Well, I wanted actually to relate on that, because I was having like the Malf picture on the enemy team, if he would have been at that team, right? This would have been way differently. But...
Ooh, Panda Colada taking a lot of damage after the hook, but it's actually Hireth almost... Oh, actually will fall off
that
of
was
the
very
cocktail.
close.
Oh,
I mean, it falls for that, but still a very good kill onto the Fat Stitches aimed at him, and then found the victim behind it.
Hanzo thought he was going to be able to get back in and just chip away at max range with that extremely low HP. But no, as we see now, Johan Ayaya stepping forward, both teams having their 7s at the moment. It's another Dragon's build-focused Chromie, Dragon's Breath build-focused Chromie. Both offlaners here just looking at each other. Three-Legged Cat, very minimal XP lead that probably isn't even an XP lead once minions get cleared out. Sylv getting a bit of chip damage onto top structures right here. Hook lands onto X-Ray.
What a hit on life. But once again, no lockdown, so he just walks out.
Oh.
And, no, actually they get a hit. Hanzo can finish off, but because it took so long, they got a counter kill onto Sylvanas. And that's actually very interesting, like the hook follow-up. I mean, with Watch, maybe it's something else later on, right? And I guess when they hit 16 with Rega, then they have something like a small root. But this is something where you already see that is slipping away some kills, that they don't have something that keeps them busy after the hook, keeps them stationary.
I do think Gorge could potentially be a game changer for just making sure that these hooks finish people off. And so far, because we see the hooks landing, and I think only one has actually turned into a kill, but certainly Johanna able to hit value hooks consistently so far in this game. Leoric extremely pushed up in bot side as Vader's missing almost all of his mana and almost all of his HP as well. Forced to Hearth right on out of there. Tyrael now rotating in toward the action. Leoric gonna just float bot side for the moment. Burt taking a bit of damage in mid. Hook will not land. So far, Turn-in is available for Master's Clash. Master's Clash is over the threshold for available gems. Johan taking advantage of the downtime right here, while Three-Legged Cat has level 10 advantage to secure Turn-in as well. We also see Maitri, both of the frontliners for Three-Legged Cat turning in their gems. And in the downtime, MCA, while they were down 10, took their Bruiser Camp.
Yeah, got called pretty much. Was the duo that let us see as the reset. You predicted that Sylvanas may go from earlier there. Oh, I think was it actually.
And
oh, there was an aggression, but cleanse was on time from Captain Rex. Was this fine?
Yep, Captain Rex able to make sure Sylv didn't go down. I was looking actually at the gems, so I missed a little bit of that action right there. As Bruiser Camp does get finished off by the members of Three-Legged Cat. And Vader's trying to contribute any little bit to turn in, but unfortunately, there it is. Alrighty. Caster math is hard. I was about to say, unfortunately, they need Camembert to turn in, but I was wrong about that one. Johan is lurking on the top side of the map here. Would love to get a hook over the wall, but unfortunately, he is not a level 13 Stitches. He does not have fishing hook, but he doesn't need it.
Can you show the tolerance real quick? Oh, there's a mind control.
Oh, the sanctification! Interrupted by the Gorge from Johan preventing him from getting it, but he did have a sword.
I didn't see the sanct actually. I didn't see the sanct visual. But yeah, it's on the cooldown.
Oh,
but still gets out though.
Tyrael able to jump away to his sword after the Gorge. So perfectly timed, but unfortunately Tyrael just able to get out. Hook will not land over the wall.
Oh,
Dragon
an arrow.
And you mentioned this in draft, Marlow. Even if they hit the dragon arrows, the Nature's Cure can just instantly get rid of the stun.
Yeah, and X-Ray is pretty solid at hitting these cleanses, and showed it once again. Insta aggression on the Lyric, trying to flank with an entomb, and Vedazi is like, no, what's just saying? I'm on you. And they are farming him. Instantly sniffed out. Vedazi was angry. I don't want to get kidnapped. I'm the wrong guy.
They got entombed and they said, you're not trapped in here with me. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Though, what level 4 does he have?
What are we talking about here? Leoric, I got you.
It's a big slow, right? That's not a minion.
That is indeed paralyzing rage and not Neil Peasants. Leo getting those fat slows when he queues enemy heroes. Oh.
Ah, pause. 3-2-3, I guess. But that means for me quick bait because I actually need to repeat a little bit. The little business has been happening, yeah.
Righty, little problem with X-Ray has been called. Okay, no problem. And it looks like after a very short pause, Masters Clash Academy is ready to get it going back again. Marlow will be back with us soon, but I'll be solo for just a moment right here. And I'm noticing a lot of individual pick pressure here from the members of Three-Legged Cat. I'm looking at this draft and it feels like everybody on their team just wants picks. You have Mind Control, setting off the instant isolated target. You have Entomb isolating targets. You have Gorge isolating targets. It feels like they don't strictly necessarily want the full 5-on-5s on the side of Three-Legged Cat right here. Resident Sleeper called out by Cats and Rex. And the players attempting to unpause the game, but only a referee can unpause. Fizz now is going to be here. Fizz counting it down is able to get this game unpaused as we get back into the action. Captain Rex not able to turn in, will get stalled out by Lolam. Burt still holding 36 gems, would love to be able to dump those if at all possible. Burt looking to have his teammates cover for him right here. Scatter angle not able to be found by Hanzo. Meanwhile, Captain Rex turning in topside. Level 13's now secured for Three-Legged Cat. 13 just around the corner for MCA as well. That's Johan losing half his health, but still an objective now secured for Three-Legged Cat right here, who would love to take out their first 4 of the game.
And I'm back and I see there was a payment. transaction happening, PayPal or whatever. Happened to the web from the web readers to Free Like That. I see. How much did they pay? 55.
It was certainly up
I think
there.
they are paying Greyman. No, never mind. Oh, maybe it's still.
The gorge
gorge
on the
onto
mouth and
Miles.
the back as well. That's a big dragon arrow. Actually,
And an
only gonna
arrow
hit
right
Lola.
after. Okay, this was so ingeniously played by Free Like That. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. Walking with the gorge
hook.
to the healer and another hook. Okay, this is gonna be a big lead incoming.
Okay, so I want to know which HGC pro did Johan pay to play on their account today, alright? Because this
I want to
tanking...
make the same, right? He's Omega surfing.
Yeah, he's just been absolutely carrying, I feel, in every series so far.
Yeah,
Johan
tank
regardless...
differential has been called.
Regardless of hero pick, regardless of hero pick, Johan just absolutely smurfing in this series. Bert now stepping up onto the members of Three-Legged Cat, gonna pop that holy ground, which is the choice this game. 2 forts being taken down, make it 3.
Like, actually, if we had to replace this right now, but like, first the hook on the Greyman, then instantly after he has been in control from Sylvanas, walking with his trade, movement speed, into the mouth, watching him so he can't cleanse or anything like that, or can make use of like stalling the kill, that it doesn't happen. The Saint maybe goes on to Greyman and buys some time, but then Malf is still trapped. And the arrow also being, to be honest, waited out pretty perfectly, right? Right after the Saint ends. So Greyman still can't get out. And now, still though, they want to give them the web beavers.
Oh!
The hook into the rapid detection function.
I
But
thought
there
he
is
dodged
no
it.
bunker. There is no bunker. Do they know? The Saint, however, hits. Arrow misses, I think. Still there was a Saint.
Okay.
And they gotta run now, because web beavers are spawning. If they dropped kills now, it's not gonna be nice.
Oh, big
Oh,
jet
the last
propulsion
getting
from
sun.
Vader's right there, setting up the double kill
Okay.
by Masters Clash Academy. Oh, Lyric not even able to use the Entomb before going down. Johanna fishing for the hook over the wall, not able to find anything. And MCA, that's exactly what they needed to revitalize themselves leading into this. Their web weaver is rather far back, though, in the lane, gonna creep up forward right here as they continue to siege onto this mid keep. Sylvanas still 13 seconds away from respawning now.
I mean, now here you can think about, yeah, was that a bait by Stitches? But then again, the bunker wasn't really up, but the reaction from Combat was very, very fast, right? And he managed to did a perfect sync, and then they could chase afterwards, and such. And suddenly he throws them back.
Ooh,
All
Entomb
of a
not
sudden-
gonna do a lot onto Ethereal,
This
but
time the
there's the
same
gorge
happening,
play.
can we see? This time there's no sync, so I think Blaze is finally falling. They just had to wait for sync, and they can get counter kills while they have to retreat. You know, the exit hook thingy is always striking back. Gotta run, and then you get hooked. And the team is following you, and they also get hooked.
Just a
with
little
that.
bit more. There it is.
And all of a sudden, there's a comeback potential, and even a core angle, if you ask me. It's good to in turn the game. Let's see what is about to happen in the next minutes.
Johan fishing for the hook over the wall, just in case they could find anything. But certainly, after MCA showed signs of life in that fight right there, all of a sudden, just the hook plays, the arrow plays, the everything plays, coming out from Three-Legged Cat. Johan clearing out this mid lane in preparation for the top push by the members of Three-Legged Cat as they now press forward here. And here is, hold on a second. Okay, Vaders is looking at the flank. Johanna sitting very far back, merely waiting for this gate to go down so they can start fishing for more hooks.
Then he aims for the mid gate though. First, waiting for the sideboard,
caster
and he
curse,
was like,
caster
okay,
curse."
Hanzo, can you open it? Can you open it, please? Hanzo was like, no, take me a second. My auto takes be like Resident Sleeper, and then he was like, no, I got it right through the middle, and missed.
Yeah, I
The
think
twitch was real.
I don't know
That
if
was
he just...
mental impatience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if he expected the gate to die faster, or if that was simply just like, oh, maybe they step out of gate for just a moment and I happen to hook them. Who knows?
Yeah,
Either-
well, he was like just tilted in that moment. No, I don't wait any longer. I'm done. Better now than never.
Oh, Bert with the
and
holy ground.
Also better now than never, the invade coming in from Bert, and he makes it right in time with his holy ground, recapturing it. And that all of a sudden means maybe there's a threat on the getting right before the 20s, spike can even happen for the free like cats. I like it a lot.
Oh, there is. Oh, and Tomb onto Lolam actually sets up the hook by Johan Ayaya. And there's the Dragon Arrow heading off northwest, not going to land onto anything. My try will fall.
Wonderful sanked. Wonderful sanked again.
Three-legged cat able to pick up those gems right here. Hold on a second. MCA isn't going anywhere. They want to take this 5v4 under the bruiser camp on enemy core, making it 5v3.
Oh, and the Trank, just to make sure that Panda will survive, with any means. They turn onto Johan.
Johan,
and as he still has the bunker, he can actually force himself
at
straight
this point,
into the core.
This is looking like a solid MCA end at this point. They have their work cut out for them. Heroes trying to jump on out of there will be able to get inside base. Core losing a lot of HP. MCA just needs to keep hitting core, and they've got this game. Leoric does respawn, however. Leoric does respawn, going on to Lolam, who is easily doing the most core DPS of any member of Masters Clash Academy. Malfurion will go down, and core will go down.
Still Lolam survives with like 1 HP, what the fuck? For so long. Okay. Honestly, I feel like, my opinion, in the last minute, I feel like Tyrael was solo carrying. I think he was pretty 1v9. First stepping in last second into the hard camp. The hard camp gives the confidence to try strike going for the keep. When someone gets caught with the hook, instantly sliding in with the movement speed, right on level 7, probably it's like swift retribution that you can see on Tyrael. And then going for the Sank, just making sure that there's instant confidence for the Greyman to disengage or even re-engage onto Lyric. And after Lyric has fallen, even more pressure going in, then the team is gaining confidence, killing Sylvanas one by one, going to the core. Like, I'm pretty sure high tribute to the Tyrael right there in the last couple of minutes. I think giving a lot of shouting to, making a core goal. Tank players, by the way. Sometimes tank also players. Doing the Twitch clipping in a good way, and not only the ranged assassin looking insane with their massive dick arrows or whatever, right? Sometimes it's also the frontliners doing this stuff.
Tank certainly a playmaker role for sure, as we have our next lobby available here in game number 4. Drakir for Three-Legged Cat going to choose map and going to take Cursed Hollow with that map pick. Cursed Hollow, anytime I'm thinking about this map, I'm thinking about picking up globals, I'm thinking about picking up camp clear, and I'm thinking about the push. You gotta pick heroes that are both good on the push and good at defending against the push, as there is a mercenary camp in every single lane for each team. You have the Siege in one, the mercenary in another one, the bruiser in another one, and the boss in that third one. Always ample opportunity to push, as well as the objective itself augmenting the value of push. Always going to be on the topic right here. I'd be very surprised to not see either team pick up a Dahaka.
Yeah, taking all of this into consideration, both bans and picks, I guess. What will we see first for Masters Clash Academy? Okay, outside of that, still the target banning. Doesn't matter if we see a global map or not, but even in that, right, Lucio excels a lot. And for that sake, I think the Dahaka is a bit more fresh. Metazi loves to play it, it's one of his signatures. Maybe not the signature, but in the end, it's also very strong on this map, as you mentioned about the macro pressure and globals.
Yep, and just the ability, like, if you fall behind a keep early, and you don't have a global, then it's just so awkward, just continually sending somebody back to clear lane, and then you know that they won't be able to make it to the objective fights in time, to the boss fights in time. It's just necessary, in my opinion, to have a global to some extent on this map. And it is possible to play without it, but it is certainly complicating the play a lot. Junkrat continuing to get permabanned by Three-Legged Cat right here. We know what they don't want to play against, and of course we know everybody does not want to play against Johan Ayaya's Garrosh as well. Masters Clash Academy, let's see what they pick up with first pick. I think Falstad is certainly on the table.
Finally they forced Hanzo now. Could be a thing. Who knows?
There is Blaze from Vader yet again. Okay. Going to be picked up as well. And I gotta say, we've seen very, very little Hogger today, Marlow. You know, usually I like to think of the top 3 offlaners just being Blaze, Hogger, Dahaka, but it feels like it's just been the Blaze and Dahaka show today.
Yes, there's a lot of priority on first picking the offlaner, it seems. And at many of these teams. Don't know if that's necessarily the right thing all the time, right? But it seems like the focus is there. As I said, 2 times in a row, I felt like not the offlaner's the first pick this time, but instead it's the range DPS that gets maybe protected by incoming frontliners or CC or whatever to deal against possible dive heroes. Well, the strategy is different, as we see here repeatedly throughout the series.
Hanzo will get picked up, as you pointed out, as well as a global Brightwing, not with the same level of macro pressure as other globals, but always able to join the fight and able to get a little bit of side soak pressure as well. Captain Rex continuing their one-tricking of Rehgar, as we've seen pretty much the entire day. Ooh, after losing to that Tyrael in the last game, you mentioned Tyrael in the late game there, after dropping their first game of the entire day to Tyrael, Three-Legged Cat does not want to play against it again. We'll take it away right there from MCA.
Wise fun, actually, I think. And especially Bird has very shown well that it is a respectable target ban, especially if it may look very good. And don't underestimate the strength of Hanzo and even Rael together. Hanzo kind of providing what Tyrael lacks is the hard CC. Good engaged, and Tyrael can follow on that. Enable even Sweet getting closer to the initial, impact from the arrow being far away. So,
hey!
Yeah. Hogger and Joanna, talking about the Hogger, there it is, the third best, or the best, I don't know. One of the top tiers, at least. Yes. Finally.
Hogger right there. I think this is our first Hogger of the day so far.
No.
No?
Serious, I think. Yeah, there was one Hogger already. Wasn't it like when the Tigers was banned very early, I think, from Guna?
I could certainly see it. My memory fails me at the moment. Falstad going to be picked up by Lolam. So far, no globals for Three-Legged Cat into 2 globals by Masters Clash Academy right here. Certainly looking to pressure out the map, get that side lane pressure, that side soak. Meanwhile, Three-Legged Cat, no globals whatsoever, but a very strong push presence as a team. If Three-Legged Cat is able to get any strong pushes with their Bruiser Camp, during Curse, or with Boss, Sylvan Greymane are just going to absolutely tear through their structures right there. It's going to be interesting to see the clash of these 2 different styles coming into this game.
That's the one thing that surprised me a lot is like the focus on Greymane a lot, right? Like Hanzo and Sylvanas, they're very common, but that there's focus from Greymane on both sides is very curious to see, to be honest. Because he provides a lot of macro, but I feel like if there's miscommunication or people don't rely on each other, and there's just like, I would say rank around, and there's not like true shot calling and engagement on a certain thing, then he gets poked easily and doesn't get any value, because team fight wise, he kinda needs a long time to skills and performance, but on the map you can do a lot of powerful things, right?
Oh yeah.
It's very cool to see. There's focus on Greymane on both sides, actually.
One thing they've seen high-level Greymane players do is just really abuse his pressure to sit in a side lane and just tear through buildings, and if you don't immediately respond to it in some way, then that high building DPS is just going to be insane. As we now look on the right side of our screen here, Three-Legged Cat, we're going to see Drakir playing that Sylvanas in the top right corner. We're going to see Captain Rex once again on the Rehgar. Johan Ayaya fitting their name this time with the Johanna. Maitri going to be on Hogger, and Hireth is going to be playing Greymane this game. It took me a second. That skin looks so different from normal. Drakir nears just 1 second. Drakir still in base, yet to move. But Marlow, who do we have here for Masters Clash Academy?
I don't know if I can, because the game is paused and I'm paused as well. I can't announce it. It's not happening. Okay. Only if they are ready.
They're coming
back. Are they ready yet? I think they're ready. Okay, I'm about to start.
We're waiting.
You
there
ready?
It is. All right.
Okay, there it is. So where does he? we have on Blaze once again. Panda Colada is going for the Hanzo finally after 3 games not having the opportunity to play it or not having picked it. Then Combat was already ready to maybe engage soon or find something, lurk somewhere at least on the Lord of Terror, Diablo. Then X-Ray lurking right next to him on the Fruit Fly, that's what someone else would call, or we are calling her Brightwing. And Lolam as the last playing Halstead.
Right here, Diablo not locking in a level 1 talent just quite
lurking,
yet.
yeah, lurking is gone again. All of a sudden they left while I was talking about the chicken. Sage.
And now Vader's gonna be blocked off a bit right there. Diablo's still not deciding on that level 1 talent just quite yet. Both teams playing fairly passively before any spawns of those mercenaries just quite yet right here. Oh, but hold on a second. Just as I say it, Burt coming out of the bush to get the stun flip combo onto Johan Ayaya. Not able to turn it into anything just quite yet. And here, of course, is a very early Bruiser camp start by Hogger. Meanwhile, the opposite side Bruisers...
I'm a bit scared of the level 1 five from Diablo, to be honest. Because, like, I think people underestimate the spell damage capability from Hogger. And Sylvanas as well. In hybrid. And now, when you don't have, like, any... I mean, maybe it's because of it clashes with the spell sheet from Brighting, but then again, like, the spell sheet from Diablo is so much bigger and more effective. But still good for the tankiness overall. But maybe they're like scary that they can't sustain. And with Devil's Hero, you have a chance to get another, you know, life during an objective with the healing fountain, being another health bar. So yeah, let's see.
If you've got that pre-tap and you hit the healing fountain, it's just an absolutely absurd amount of self-healing right here. Is right when I put away the talents is actually when they hit level 4. So I'm pulling that back up for you right here. Burt taking a lot of damage in this mid lane. 3-legged cat trying to get the advantage with these mid bruisers. Note also that Greymane able to siege away at that bot side with these giants right behind him. All he really has to do is stop Vaders from being able to clear this out as well. Now Johan, Ayaya, and Drakir stepping forward here. Bruiser camp will finally perish. Masters Clash Academy now heading over to their siege giants. They want to take this camp right before objective and get that split push pressure, especially alongside the Falstad.
Speaking of split push pressure, there it comes. They even thought if he got not only striking the structures, but only striking the hero that you just mentioned. Focus on Falsa, but they barely missed. They didn't get the combo on him. Very well done. Nice fox spin by Maitri. Or I picked that one. Cheeky.
And
I know you think they get the rest of the gates here. Boys from 3-Leg Cat. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the push pressure just continually happening by 3-legged cat here in this top lane. Meanwhile, basically no fighting, no scuffle whatsoever. Simply just an easy capture of that bot side tribute in favor of 3LC, who now clear out mid lane. And here's another gank on the Lolan top lane.
So driving, I think panicking, or needed to panic, and they called it worth for sure, with 3-Leg Cats, because Writing Z is now gone. Does mean on bottom there can't be anything forced, or even on mid. Can't pressure Johanna.
Now Panda Colada getting some chip damage here. Here is Maitri actually finding themselves in the middle of multiple members of Masters Clash Academy, able to get that hog wild for that self-unstoppable, preventing Shadow Charge from getting them out of position, able to be just fine. Panda Colada taking some damage in this mid lane, does not have the tap available, it would seem, after getting chunked. Will receive the Brightwing phase shift. They're going to be A-OK. Both teams level 7 at the moment. Drakir looking for the capture in the backline, but here is MCA to play interference.
This is a very hard to fight team fight, I would say, for Masters Clash Academy. Although there's a lot of damage on the one hero, Johanna actually necessarily quite low. Good focus there. Shadow Charge, recognizing Johanna doesn't have to trade. And also the follow-up, right? Right after fighting Morph, making sure that's a little bit longer. Can damage her before the trade procs. But even this dropping it lower, it's very hard to contest this area. The blue team.
Yeah, blue team, this is easily the area in favor of a red side. The geography of the map simply just making it so hard to step up. Johan Ayaya now getting aggressed onto by Bird, actually taking a lot of damage in the meantime. And as well,
a surprising kill.
Sonic Arrow does not
and I
get
like the aggression
interrupt.
from Panda. I think Panda is allowed to kill Sylvanas here. Very well done.
Okay.
Wow. One misstep, right? One split up, and all of a sudden it belongs to them. The Jinx again. Happened and striked.
Panda Colada now just instantly pushing onto this Bruiser camp, just like you said, off of a single misstep by the members of Three-Legged Cat. And Masters Clash Academy, that's all they need. It's just the slightest advantage. I honestly think this boss camp would be playable. You know, like you've got 10. But maybe that's a little bit too risky right there. The members of Masters Clash Academy now not going for it. They do have their 10s available. MCA floating towards the bottom half of the map, starting to head towards their own boss. Meanwhile, Drakir taking out Siege Giants. Oh, they're not going to go for their own boss. Instead, MCA starting to back out and head back up towards objective.
Pretty interesting looking at like the stacks from Hanzo, right? He only has 5, but I feel like he did so much already contributing to winning fights. Kind of interesting. Just like either the skitters barely missing or they are not even needed.
Oh!
It's very interesting to see. And there's talking about what it's needed or not. There was a big arrow, but also the silence arrow was big. Both of them.
Oh, did silence arrow prevent the apocalypse? Because I thought the apocalypse was super late right there. Okay.
No. The apocalypse came through, but he couldn't combo on it.
Yeah, I'm saying I felt that it was late. Like off of the
there
dragon
was no
arrow.
apocalypse on the arrow, sadly.
Yeah.
Like this combo didn't happen.
Oh, there's the ancestral healing.
Nothing like that.
And now Three-Legged Cat starting to back off. They do have Siege Giants pushing bottom here, getting a little bit of split push value in their favor, but not able to stall the objective. Oh, Vader's just a little bit short on the jet propulsion. Bert now in the middle of multiple members of Three-Legged Cat who all get gusted into the wall. Expect to especially see that late game with that wind tunnel as Bert will fall. Hanzo trying to finish off Hogger. Hogger able to spin out to his heart's content, will be just fine. 5 versus 4 now in favor of Three-Legged Cat after getting the pick off onto the Diablo, who did not have souls complete. Diablo actually at 95 out of 100 as Sylvanas now shuts off this top 4.
I actually think if this was a completed Hanzo quest, this might have also been the Hogger kill. So there was still some scatters coming.
Oh, Vader's just barely getting inside the bunker. How much HP does he have? I don't even know. I was trying to
he
check.
died by the blinds!
I was
He
trying.
died by the blind at the same moment.
Oh my gosh. He
You
tried.
jinxed it. You said now how many HP does he have? Maybe something, and then
Caster
nothing.
curse. Caster
The blind was
curse.
enough. Yup.
The damage pressure onto Blaze, and then Johan Ayaya able to just maybe prediction, maybe luck, who knows, able to pick up the kill right there. Maybe it was response. I didn't see it exactly in time because I was looking at the Blaze HP. But what a well-timed pick-off by Three-Legged Cat. However, Blaze will be available to contest this next objective.
This is not Diablo on Souls anymore, right? Is it completely gone, or how are
Diablo
we?
still has 95 souls.
No. He still gets them. Okay, so it will most likely mean that they get another chance to have a Diablo 2 times in a row. So this might be very crucial to winning this chip fight. Boss, they have to divert. Or maybe he doesn't even get a chance when he doesn't connect his souls. Yeah. He doesn't got the stun.
Oh, and they were doing the boss for Three-Legged Cat. Oh no! They do all that damage just to hand it over. Dragon Arrow wasn't available then, and then it just came up. Hireth getting big damage on Panda, just slapping him 100 to 0, and now off again, the slightest misstep. Three-Legged Cat now able to steal the Bruiser camp of Masters Clash
You
Academy.
also saw, right? Souls, as I mentioned, like, he needs to get one good hit. Because he has Q-build, he needs to hit one Q, stun, to get the souls completed. But he didn't manage, so right before that, he is actually full cooldown. If this was maybe 3 seconds respawning Diablo, there could be some turnable fight.
Boss now still pushing away the stolen boss from MCA towards Three-Legged Cat, still pressuring out onto that bottom keep, MCA will leave Brightwing on it to at least help contribute a little bit of soak and clear. but it does not look like Masters Clash Academy is even able to approach. Johan Ayaya with the deep zone, just keeping everybody away from interfering with this boss, and Three-Legged Cat looking very solid in this game right here. Both teams at 2 out of 3 for this next objective, but only one of these teams has a full HP boss split pushing during this next objective. Going to be absolutely crazy, and it looks like Masters Clash Academy going to completely ignore that boss right there. Just let it get some push pressure on the side lanes now, stepping up as 5.
Break's already capping, trying to think that the same is enough. There's also the arrow needed to be for the stall, even though I think didn't need to be. I think there was enough time. Cancelled it with normal sweat. It also means combat is very low. So far this looks very in favor of Three-Legged Cat, especially that they walk together on the same route, don't split up. Runners even use your E, right? And now there's aggression on better Z. A spin even. Spin going back. Aggression on to Trainer, but Trainer's making it out. And once again, Diablo on the same HP as before.
So far, a lot of scuffle back and forth. Johanna, split from the rest of the team, is flanking around on that right side, finally able to reunite with the members of Three-Legged Cat here. Lolam stepping forward very aggressively, forced to barrel roll away. And the poke damage of the Hanzo Falstad certainly coming through for Masters Clash Academy right there. Shockwave from Hogger lands onto nothing, but Diablo will go down regardless. And now down a person, there's the Blessed Shield from Johanna Yaya. Oh my gosh, the push pressure continues. Brightwing trying to get on out of here, wants to blink heal to Hanzo, but can't find the range. No, Panicolata jumped away and left Brightwing out on an island, not able to jump towards him. A double kill. A double kill for Three-Legged Cat now as they push immediately in this bottom lane with both Brightwing and Blaze dead. They know they can look for at least this keep. Level 16 advantage also being enjoyed by 3LC.
I always like what Three-Legged Cat keeps doing with the Johanna, that they extend the fight so long that they get the Flash Shield, another fight again. Like in the same fight, extended over 1 minute, so they can just punish and stagger their kills after. Like Blaze and so on just only died purely because of that, right? Or they gotta be the curse onto Sylvanas, but only Brightwing attacking sadly, with her auto takes, not enough. But this could have been that Sylvanas with the first kill on her there.
Three-Legged Cat
but the players are not cursed, not compared to the casters, right?
Three-Legged Cat deciding against sticking around to push down the core. They shaved 8% off of Masters Clash Academy's core, but everybody just gonna go ahead and full reset right on out of here. It is worth noting that Masters Clash Academy, despite playing from the back foot right here, is still at 2 out of 3 on their curse. So if they're just able to get a few crucial picks for MCA and then pick up the curse, that could change the flow of this game. At the moment though, Three-Legged Cat firmly in the driver's seat. Both teams having their level 16s. Drakir finishing off this siege camp as Three-Legged Cat also took their bruisers, and it might look like just a simple 5-on-5 push in a moment.
Usually actually mid-game pushes, late-game pushes in mid-lane tend to be rather successful. Oh, there's a scout from Johanna, their camp, but they leave it, and I think it's good like that, because this is a very good spot to fight for Masters Clash Academy, in this narrow spot for Apocalypse. Now they go something unencumbered, but they are not using the bullet yet. Hero is out of range. And indeed, they are pushing back. Nolan tries to bait. Bait Blast Shield or something, so the engage is easier, but they didn't pull any trigger. Felix Cat side. Now I think soon they have to defend top door for the red team.
Top Giants are pushing away full HP for Masters Clash Academy in top lane, but MCA looking at their own boss here. However, here's Johan Ayaya looking at Lolam, who he knows doesn't have barrel roll, does not toss the arrow, and hold on a second, actually arrow going out onto Hiref. Oh, he's taking a lot of damage from MCA. Actually rolls directly into the boss stun as well. I think he died before it went off, but it would have killed him regardless. And now Masters Clash Academy, coming fresh off the kill, knows they can go ahead and finish off this boss. It is worth noting.
Nexus forces, floating was this intention because the boss slapped him in mid-air or something. What's the range from the That was actually interesting because he didn't die by the roof on him. It's what needed to land first, right? It's a very interesting kill.
And
That
now,
obviously means they can contest this and maybe get a curse.
yep,
Don't think
Greymane will
Freelake
respawn
fight, right?
quite after this objective, and this is actually a boss steal. Knowing that Johanna and Rehgar are both bot side, Masters Clash Academy simply steps forward and starts taking this boss. Three-Legged Cat's not gonna get here in time. This is an easy double boss late game play off of literally one kill for Masters Clash Academy right there.
Yeah. And since they didn't clear bottom boss now, it's actually getting the fort.
Yep,
And if we would have let this unattended, now I think they are doing a lot of issues because I should have cleared the boss instantly and just left top. They were unsecure and Sylvanas and Rehgar rotated away, right? Now Rehgar had to stay here because this boss will get slowly the keep on bottom, since there's no structural damage coming in, right? From the keeps, no fire shots. And yeah, this is hella scary now that the bottom boss is still alive. The minions coming in. I think there's gotta be at least one keep being dropped here. Maybe two.
Oh yeah, for sure this top keep will die, and this boss still very healthy for the side of Masters Clash Academy. They're just gonna keep going despite having the 5-on-5 because they know this boss simply just such a big health bar on it. Dragon Arrow will get absorbed by Hogger during the Unstoppable, able to avoid the damage. Blessed Shield is available for Three-Legged Cat, and MCA, after failing to find anything with the Dragon Arrow and after floundering a bit, will back off right here. Johanna Yaya on the chase, not going to look for the Blessed Shield though. We'll simply let the members of Masters Clash Academy walk away and finish off their mid fort. A very equal situation between these two teams now. Both teams level 20. Both teams having 2 forts available except in their own boss lanes. So if their bosses ever get stolen, that is very likely gain for them. A very, very equivalent situation between these two teams in the given moment. And MCA able to come back so efficiently despite only having 3 kills in the entire game right there. Really getting a lot of mileage out of each and every kill. Now, Three-Legged Cat starting to walk over to their bruiser camp, but maybe a potential invade coming out from MCA.
Diablo being staffed. The pre-vision from Hanzo. The aggression. Ah, okay, he stopped. He could have tried on Hogger, maybe. Then again, he knows what Rehgar has tools to deny that. Yeleni is pretty in. Bullet and so on. I think it's fair to say that you retreat off that if you're not right in time. So there was no collision in Diablo.
Now Masters Clash Academy getting over here onto Bruisers will be able to take them out, meaning that very likely they will have push advantage here in mid lane. MCA knows that Hogger is top lane, so Three-Legged Cat not able to step up. Hold on a second, here's big pressure on Johanna. Oh
wow.
Man.
Nice lockdown.
And I think that's Johanna simply overstepping while their Hogger is topside. If you are showing that you do not have all 5 members available, you are flashing a green light to the enemy team to absolutely hard engage on you because they know for a fact that they're getting at worst a 5v4. And Johanna just overstepping right there, instantly punished by the members of Masters Clash Academy. Three-Legged Cat, it all looked so good for the first 2 games of the series, but these late games fraught with perilous throws here for Three-Legged Cat now. Masters Clash Academy sieging onto this mid-keep, knowing they've got the 5-on-4, rather 4-on-4 at the moment as Falstad is clearing bottom against those giants, but here goes Camembert.
Yeah. The camera was very low, now there's gonna be the double ancestral and maybe the counter turn. Carlson trying to come, but he has no gust yet.
Falstad Gust only just now coming online. Diablo maybe getting a little bit too ambitious right there. He did have souls, however, resetting him back down to 25, and he is back in the scene. This is 0 out of 3 for both teams. Both teams still a long way off of securing an objective just quite yet. It would honestly surprise me if one team ended up getting the full curse, and I think if they did, it would very quickly be followed by the end of the game. As now the members of Three-Legged Cat continue to step forward here into the jungle of MCA.
Yeah, this time they don't make the mistake staying alone somewhere or being split. They rock as 5. It's a regret.
Masters Clash Academy starting their own boss right here. Hogger now trying to rotate in. Three-Legged Cat does see this, they are fully aware, but MyTry needs to clear base, and MCA simply knows that with the catapults on top lane, they have the 5v4 on this boss, and yet again, this is exactly what I talked about in the draft. If you lose a keep, you lose all ability to contest the boss, to contest the tribute, anything like that, because you continually will have to send someone over to rotate to clear that lane, and the enemy team guaranteed gets a 5v4. Global's absolutely pivotal on such a large map as Cursed Hollow, as now Masters Clash Academy, after having completed their own boss, cycles over to steal that of Three-Legged Cat.
Although now there could be a overconfidence move striking again, because this boss, yes, if you have it, you might rush core, but very unlikely. I think stalling this one is pretty good.
We gotta keep in mind the potential for the wind tunnel as boss
reset.
actually gets completely reset.
Oh! Oi, oi, oi. Wait, never mind, Hogger.
Hogger in the back just making plays, absolutely taken out. Hanzo, or rather Brightwing and Falstad.
Wow.
Bert coming in here, gonna go ahead and hop in. Vader's now gonna try and base race the members of Three-Legged Cat, but there's no way. Wait a minute, Three-Legged Cat hearthing? Okay, it looks like Three-Legged Cat, the members that do the least core DPS, Rhaegar and Johanna, gonna go ahead and hearth and take care of the base. Meanwhile,
I mean, they have no contender, right? There's no one contesting these two.
With these death timers as long as they are, Sylvanas and Hanzo able to simply take out this core as two. Drakir taking an unnecessary level of damage from these catapults in the meantime, but will be just fine, it seems, and this is indeed going to be... Drakir, you're taking such a worrying amount of damage. This should not be as sloppy as this is, guys. Okay.
Any KDA deaths?
Okay.
You did. Okay, honestly, Trakia, no offense, of course, but you deserve that death.
You tanked like...
Yeah, Iraed is always giga chatting, taking the entire damage.
You tanked like a million catapults. I don't...
Yeah. And he's like, he doesn't even have to take the entire damage of the core, and he's taking more damage than Iraed. Honestly, for the slowest, not even mechanical play. Yeah, this is like, you know, this is the moment when you feel like, yeah, you have won already. You get so lazy. Because you're already superior, you just get lazy. Trakia, if you hear this one, I love you, bro. I love you with your flight air controlling, but I think there you didn't control yourself. You maybe control your airships, but not this one. Not your own airship. But actually, GG's. Was pretty hot what Hogger did there on top, right? And even Zero Death's looking at it right now. Okay.
Let me go ahead and flash the post-game scoreboard for our viewers right here so we can see what was going on. And what a crazy way to end the series right there. And so far, Three-Legged Cat, despite being the number 7 overall rated team, able to take down the number 6 Masters Clash Academy in a slight upset. They will, of course, be playing on Sunday versus Granite Gaming. Whoever wins Three-Legged Cat versus Granite Gaming will go on to face against Rage Quit Gaming, and whoever wins that will get to go to LAN next month. What an absolutely crazy way to end this out. Three-Legged Cat certainly gotta be feeling good about their performance here this Saturday as they pick up 2 series wins. Just absolutely good stuff right there. And Marlow, thank you so much for casting this with me today as well.
Yeah, I hope I was amusing enough. Or not too aggressive, I don't know. Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it too hard. We're all having fun.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, that moment on my try here, also looking at the stat, was just perfection. It was just perfection. I actually believe, like, when I saw this gust with the Apok, I just saw, you know, they should go next. On the cat side, but indeed not, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hogger just able to just really critically isolate Brightwing and Falstad in that backline, taking out Brightwing right away, and then Falstad just leaving him so chunked that a teammate was able to finish him off right there. I was really noticing MyTry's contribution to that final fight, but certainly just a flurry of activity from everybody in that game right there. Johanna gotta be feeling very confident about their overall just day-long performance from the tank position. Solid stuff right there here in this MC game. Marlow, thank you for the gifted sub to My Try.
That's the last one for a while.
All right, last one. Well, thank you so much for all the gifted subs here today, Marlow. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for your help with the commentating, with the gift subs, with everything. Certainly an exciting day of HotS. And then, friends, tomorrow is the last day of the Gauntlet, okay? We have 2 best of 5s. We're going to cast them with Cavalier Guest, and then I believe that is it for my casting of Masters Clash. I've had a great time going over these games with you. These games have been amazing, but after that is going to be LAN. Okay, after tomorrow is going to be LAN, and I don't think they're flying me to France for that one. All right, so it has been a blast, but we still got 2 more series in us. Thank you so much for being here. GG's 23LC. I'm going to go ahead and find a raid target for us.